the storyteller who made India capture the world's imagination, a very suitable living legend, Vikram Seth.
I have to keep myself interested, because if I'm not interested, the reader certainly won't be. If I were inspired to write a suitable girl or an unsuitable boy or something like that, I would certainly do it. But I think that one has to go with the muse. You can't say, look, I'm sorry, this wasn't what I was expecting. Go away with something more satisfactory. The muse will go away and will not come back. Thank you, Honourable President, for making us feel so much at home in your home, and for this bar of delicious Toblerone, which I hope to enjoy when I get back home. As I was coming up here, because I was stumbling all over the stage, Dr. Roy said to me, absent-minded professor. Now, I should say that I realized that there could really be no reason for my being here except by mistake. And I know that everyone else was invited a month ago, and I was invited 2 days ago. So someone dropped out. The other possibility, of course, is that they got 24 mixed up with 25 and suddenly realized it, and Tempest, which is the school name of the illustrious Dr. Prannoy Roy, said, God, one extra person, how will we get him? Oh yeah, Vikram, he was my junior at school, I was the prefect, tell him to come up. So I obviously acquiesced. I asked my mother, must I go up for that? She said, of course. Accept it, and accept it with grace. Now, it's all very well to accept something, but we've been kept in a kind of anteroom for about half an hour. I would have been much happier to be here in the hall with all of you and with my parents. But if you don't realize in what order we've been placed, most of you have got it, it's in alphabetical order of first name. From Amartya down to poor Zubin, who's cooling his heels there. And the most adorable and most classy lady, Wahida Rahman. And I must tell you, I'm glad I'm here and not there, because if my father knew that I was spending yet more time with her, he would be green with jealousy. So my pieces of advice, because I was told I had to give some advice to the young, I can see not very many young here, but still at any rate, to the young, is this. The first piece of advice is, Elaji said, Ela Bhatt, the great Ela Bhatt said, poverty is violence. And poverty is violence with the acquiescence of society. I would say, in a perfectly parallel mode, that intolerance is violence. And accepted intolerance is violence with the acquiescence of society. Now, please, that way I'll more than take up my 2 minutes, and I can hardly blame the people there for being impatient. But basically, there's no point in wrapping yourselves up in the color of the flag when you don't realize that the flag has more than one component. There are different colors in it, they mean different things, and in the heart of it is the wheel. The wheel of Buddhism, you might call it, but it's really the wheel of justice, the wheel of dharma, the wheel of the recycle of births, the wheel of law. And we cannot have intolerance within a family. You can see how disastrous that would be. And we certainly cannot have the spirit of intolerance within our country as a whole. So that's the first thing. The second is, and everyone here has virtually, in different words, said it, you may as well be yourself, because really there's no one else you can be. We're here for such a ridiculously short time in this ridiculously trivial corner of the universe that if we aren't ourselves, what's the point of doing anything at all? So I would say in all matters, whether it's your profession, whether it's your beliefs, whether it's the person you love, you must go at heart with who you are. Not what someone else tells you, not what your clan tells you, not even what an unjust law tells you. Go with yourself. And the third thing I would say, and this again has been said in different ways, Fali Nariman said very succinctly, I owe everything to the lady sitting behind, well, in front of me. And I would say he chose, obviously, tremendously well, or perhaps she did. But I would add to this what Hari Prasad Chaurasia ji said, your parents. Your parents are who make you who you are. And in the case of my loving, hardworking, generous-hearted parents, I can only say that I really owe more to them than I can describe. So though it's too late to give you advice for this life, I would advise you for your next life, choose your parents well.